I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor Paul, would you please guide us in invocation?
Heavenly Father, tonight we honor you. Thank you for allowing us to come together one more time. Thank you for being here with us in this particular meeting at this time. Thank you for your guidance, your leadership. Thank you for those that serve their community and are willing to work and help this community be all she needs to be. And we ask your blessings on the meeting tonight, that we will be able to see and know the things that you have for us as a community, to make it a community that others will look at and say, wow, what a community in Monroe City. Thank you for being an honored guest tonight. This I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Alderman Ward 1, Jeff Bodkins. Alderman Ward 1, Jason Osborne. Alderman Ward 2, Mark Greeny. Alderman Ward 2, Adrian Saunders here. Alderman Ward 3, Dubin Moss. And Alderman Ward 3, Kent Shoemaker. Thank you all for coming. At this time, public comment. Interim Solutions is on the agenda. It is a resource. I've been reaching out to find us some support on getting out of the situations that we're currently in. I received Interim Solutions phone number and contact information from Missouri Municipal League. They are like financial consultants, kind of like what People Services does for our water and sewer. They would come in, take over our financials and get us squared away at a hefty price, but we're kind of at that point. But after about 3 phone conversations with the 2 gentlemen, Jeff Hancock and Ben Hart, Gary Osborne and I were on phone conversations with them, telling them what was going on, what we needed, explaining the situations to them. They could not even get to us until maybe January. And he said, quite frankly, Mayor, I don't think you could even handle our fees on top of that. So that's why they're crossed off the agenda. Liberty Utilities, they're coming November 2nd. So they're also not going to be here tonight. Next is the Rural Fire Association, Gary McElroy.
In September, where I was up here and you all voted to give us our $700,000, we didn't have the date to distribute that money. I'm asking if you just write us a check tomorrow so we can get it in the bank and we can start operating.
Gary, we've got an agreement here that was dated the 17th day of June 2021 between Monroe City Rural Fire Board and Missouri Corporation and City of Monroe City, and in it states that RFB Rural Fire Board shall assume responsibility of city for fire protection services within the city limits of the City of Monroe City, and that let me find it.
Well, it renews August 1st. That's what you're looking for.
And it automatically renews if a party does not dispute within 30 days of that date. But it states in here, and help me find it, that the City of Monroe City is the financial overseer of the funds.
Signed by who?
It's signed by Johnny Hayes, President Gary McElroy, Chris Ellison, and Jerry Potterfield.
What's that got to do with our money?
Well, let me find the part that talks about the financial.
Let me talk about something first. We set this up. This was just an agreement we just did recently. Just recently because the auditor asked for it. It's pretty simple to me, it's pretty simple to our board. All this money that's been collected in the rural area was from rural people. The cookie jar is here for the rural money. Somebody's had their hand in the cookie jar. We've had no say on anything that we've done other than the rural money, other than what we buy trucks for. It's pretty simple to us that that's the rural fire protection. It's a fire protection district, but the only ones contributing to that is the rural people. The city has not put a dime in it. Not one dime in it.
So, on the budget, it says fire department.
That budget doesn't amount to damn, apparently, because you passed a budget a couple years ago, or a year ago, that had our $700,000 in there, but now we can't seem to find it.
It's still in there, Gary.
Good, then give it
Nobody's
to us.
had their hands in the cookie jar, but what I'm gathering, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, the reason that I'm getting that we can't disperse your funds is that the city our fire department has funds that have been mingled and meshed in with the rural fire's money,
But
so we don't know how to
but
separate it.
That's your fault, because.
So
and
our
here-
fault, we should just hand it all over without
here's-
making
here-
sure we take ours
Here's
out?
exactly why. That's why there was a special fund set up. It's called special funds. Gary set it up. Gary Outford set it up. That was sometime along the line, everything was completely separated. Everything, every purchase order, everything was completely separated.
Mhm.
For somewhere along the line, somebody decided to just take the money out of our special funds. When that started, I don't know.
And we don't either, and
Well,
we're trying to
but
find out.
we had showed you that you have, well, actually, it says $649,000 is what we say that you've got in there. No interest has been paid, no nothing. So there's $700,000 there that belongs in that special fund.
I guess what I'm asking for is more time.
No, we gave you 2 months. Let's make a decision tonight on something. So we could decide which way we're gonna go.
Are you, that's not my business, so never mind. I won't
Sure it
go
is,
there.
it's an open public, I answer.
No, that's fine.
All we're trying to do is separate like the state auditors wants us to do. That's all we're trying to do. That money should be there. If it was managed like it should have been, it was there. And I know you've got a situation with that, but unfortunately, that's not our situation.
How often do they pay the rural fire?
Excuse me?
How often do they pay the rural fire?
Every year,
And is there a
an
certain?
average of $100,000.
No, but is there a certain date they pay it on?
And we send them out at the first of the year.
First year, and now the ones that have been sent out, say,
Not yet.
last year, did the city get that?
Because it should have been going into the special fund, and all of these years going into the special
But
funds.
none of it has got given to you all, nothing.
No.
Okay, now, there's ones that come out this
How-
this year, are they gonna go to you guys, or?
We've got it set up like the state auditor wanted us to do. We mail them out,
And
we collect the money,
it comes back to
and it
you?
goes in our account.
Okay, that's all, I wanna know about that.
You,
Okay.
you all have to fool with nothing.
Okay.
You voted once to say yes. I'd like to know what's changed your mind.
City attorney, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to Gary multiple times about it. I mean, one, we don't know if that's the right number.
We've got some,
I mean, but my view is the city needs to verify. I mean, I know they voted. happen. But let us look and see what we think the number is before we write a check.
Let's make
Because
that-
there was, I mean, everybody that lived in the country paid their fire dues and they got fire protection. I mean, everybody agrees on that, right? So, I mean, their
That's
dues.
not gonna change.
No, but I'm saying the dues, tell me if I'm wrong, but if you pay for something, you pay your dues for fire protection, you get fire protection. To me, you don't get all the money back. You might get some, but if you get what you pay for,
The special
To me.
funds was set up to buy major equipment. That's what it was set up for.
right,
So if you had to buy a fire truck today, the way you all have been operating, you couldn't buy it. If your money would have been in the right spot, you could buy it. You'd have a fire truck. That's what it's about.
and I hope it's all there. I mean, don't get me wrong, I hope it is.
So from what I understand, the reason you don't really wanna give it out right now is it will cut you short financially, correct?
No, the reason we don't wanna give it out right now is because we've had conversations where, so we're using the city's men, our
You're
resources.
using fire protection district men. City people, okay, go ahead.
That we're paying,
Uh-huh.
so we're providing all of the men, the equipment, the building, everything.
No, if you look at your records, the city borrowed $350,000 from the rural fire protection district, never paid that back. For that building that's sitting down there. You might wanna look into that. And again, I don't know how I can explain it any better than every truck that sets down in that building, all the rescue equipment, all the hose, everything in that building has been bought and paid for by the Rural Fire Protection District. So, we are contributing. You all are taking care of the operation expenses, and that's it. And from what I understand, we paid for the insurance last year too. So, I mean, we're contributing probably more than you guys are. But that's not the issue right now. That's all something that needs to be discussed. Put a public safety board, sit down and iron all this out. That's what we're trying to do with what the state auditor wants us to do.
I think we need to call in the state tomorrow and get somebody in here to go and audit everything and go through every account and see what's accountable and how much is in balance and everything. I think that needs to be done, and we know, I just don't think we know for sure what's in there, what's in everything there, is of the mess that we're in, you know. I don't think that's where we don't wanna give it to you, but we don't know what's the true amount and where's it at and what's located, such as you said, you know. Of borrowing $300,000 from previous past and everything, that might affect the balance too, I don't know. And the record wise is everything, you know, it's a mess. But we need to get somebody in here
But
to,
that's what we're trying to do,
yeah,
is get the money in our hands
right.
so we can manage it like it's supposed to be managed. I mean, I don't see anything going on down there that's, you say wait for what? Wait for how long?
Wait till we get our bank reconciled, wait till we can see what the
I
amount
think that was
is.
2 months ago.
And it still hasn't happened, it still
And it
hasn't
sounds like you
happened.
can't get employees down there and it's not gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
I need a decision, so I can take it to our rural board and what you want me to do, because, so we can make a decision on what we need to do. Right now, you don't have any money, right now, if a fire truck goes to crap, right now, can you afford to fix it?
I don't know.
Well, if you'd have had the money in our department, we could've. If you put the money in our department, you can't. That's what it's about.
That's what it's for.
That's what it's for. We shut the pump on a fire truck when I was there.
Yeah.
It was $10,000. We wrote a check. so you can have fire service as soon as possible.
Council, do we have any other input on this? Any other suggestions how we should handle this situation?
Half of it, until we can find out, the good faith.
You put a utility company on payments, put us on payments. We'll take $100,000 a month.
Until we can get a clear answer, because we know we don't want money, but until.
I guarantee you, if you figure it right, there's 700,000, probably more than that there.
Because
But
you
we're
figure-
settling for 700,000.
Because you figure what we take in and over the 6 years that we haven't bought anything that was major yet.
If you buy a fire truck today, it's over $500,000.
And it's gone.
John, do you think that's a feasible solution to this, or what's your,
I mean, I understand where Gary's coming from, I understand his frustration, but, I mean, when do we think we'll have a number? Or a ballpark figure, I mean.
You don't
what-
know. You don't know. So you don't know. I don't think, I don't think it's unfair to at least say $100,000 a month.
you guys want to do $100,000 a month?
When do we
And-
stop?
And stop it at $700,000. I mean, my God, we have trusted you all. So let's say 700,000, you gave us $700,000, and you find out you only owe us 600,000. We'll give you
Is
600,000.
Jackie up here?
No, she's in the basement.
She said she'd come up.
Excuse me?
She said she'd come up.
Yes.
So I'm gonna pay you out 7 months.
I mean, what do we even have in the bank? We're supposed to have bank statements. Did anybody get them?
Gary's been working on that. It's
But I
not
mean-
like nobody's trying to
No, but
rectify the
somebody,
situation
our
down
September
there.
bank statement was supposed to be in the package.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Council voted on that a while ago.
yes.
Do we have something you could print, Tamitha, that he's working on? Is Gary still down there?
Gary's right back there.
Gary.
But what do we have in the bank?
What is the bank saying?
Come on up here.
We just have to stay there.
We can give somebody a grand.
You're not gonna get the food. I'm glad to hear
The Effingham bank balance is $3,146,000. However, we've already expended checks, not the electronic stuff, but the good old fashioned checks, $2 million. We had over $1 million back sales tax, you had federal income tax and social security. And you had about $350,000 on a transformer you had to buy. So you've probably got, not good.
1.2.
Probably got about, $1,100,000 in the bank. And like I said, a lot of that is, a rural fire, it's in the rural fire fund 25. It's not, didn't go anywhere, it's in the city bank account. And,
But we've also got in there all the park tax. I mean,
you got park tax, you got library, capital improvement tax,
So, I mean-
meter deposit fund, all that stuff.
that's where I'm at. I mean, you take away 700 from rural fire, park tax is a couple hundred,
You're in the hole,
you're in the hole.
you're in the hole, no doubt.
So, you wanna not make payroll, not pay for our electricity?
Well, that brings up
I mean, I'm not saying, I mean, if it's not there, it's not
If
there.
you're not
I don't-
operating, I don't wanna get into this, but I can't help but say it. If I run the business and we're that damn broke, I hate to say it, but shouldn't we be laying somebody off for doing something? I mean, I don't want,
That's happened. We don't have anybody down there.
I'm not talking about there. I'm talking about throughout the city, what needs to be done. I mean,
Well-
listen,
As I said, no, I wanna clarify something, because I'm feeling some heat that I don't really appreciate out
Well, I
here.
don't like a lot of things.
No, listen to me. I have been
Yeah,
busting my
listen to
ass for 2 weeks trying to get outside solutions in here to help us with our problem. I have just about exhausted the resources. I have one last straw to put in my drink, and that's tomorrow when MPUA lady comes to tell me that she can save us. She's told me there's grant money out there and we don't have to have clear financials because the grant money is specifically earmarked for municipalities that are in the same situation we are. And folks, we're not alone, not that that makes our situation any better, but across the state of Missouri, there are several municipalities that are drowning like we are. And I'm trying my damnedest to fix it. So all I ask when you come in here to these council meetings is you give me and my council a little bit of respect.
Now let me say,
That's it.
I gave you respect.
You are being very forthcoming with me, very
Ma'am,
forthcoming, and I don't appreciate it.
I don't appreciate your attitude.
You ain't seen.
But here, let me tell you something, ma'am. I think you all have done a great job. You're the one that chose to turn this into an argument. I don't like arguments. I hate coming up to this damn place anymore. I spent 22 years up here coming up here to it. I've done my time. I want to turn it over to the younger people, but I want to leave them with the money. You folks have done a great job. For what you've been doing. That's what I said the last time I was here. And I gave you the benefit of sitting and waiting patiently. I just simply want an answer. $100,000 a month or nothing. Just give me an answer. That's all I want.
But you're expecting a quick, you
It's not
guys are
quick.
expecting a quick resolution. These
Yeah,
things,
ma'am.
after years and years of compounded
Ma'am,
problems,
it's
you're
not a
expecting us
quick
to fix something in a
It
week.
should be a quick system. If it would have been left alone like it was, we wouldn't be here. So, I'm not here to argue with you any longer. I'm done. Just give an answer. Just make a vote. That's all I want. Nothing or 100,000. Then I'll know I'll have a direction.
Councilor Winwood.
I have a direction then. That's all I'm asking.
Where are we at on delinquent, I need to spear off of that, where are we at on delinquent utilities? Have we collected?
No. Any?
Some.
Did you take any less than 100? Huh?
I won't take any less than 700,000.
I understand.
That's your decision, not mine.
Well, we voted to give you 50 for the time being, and then,
No.
no?
It's, you make it. I'm not making that decision for you, Mark. That's your own decision.
Any decision to be made, or are we tabling it?
I'm concerned that if we allow that expense to go back to today, that we will not be able to pay.
You want what?
We won't be able to pay for our own,
I can't hear you.
we won't be able to pay for the city's bills.
But it's not what their money's for.
It's not what their money's for. I don't disagree.
So you're actually using, let's get this on the record. You're actually using Rural Fire Protection District money to operate the city of Monroe City.
No.
No,
So where's the $700,000 then?
What did Gary tell you, it's sitting in the bank?
Then it's the Fire Protection District money, correct?
Assumably.
What?
If that's the right figure.
No.
If that's the right figure, I don't know where 700,000 came from.
Came from $90,000 a year, $100,000 a year, whatever, we kept collecting an average of $90,000 a year. That's where it comes from. $75 memberships from any person that lives in the rural area.
Gary,
You got something to say, Administrator, speak out, not to just all.
I just have a question, a couple of things that we were discussing is if we do $50,000 per month for 3 months, that would get us into what we have been trying to negotiate in regards to auditors and accountants coming in here to assist us during that period of time, and we'd have hopefully a better figure if we can get them to come, but we're having difficulty. But if we hand over the full amount that you say that we owe, we'll end up having to take out a loan, because we still have, as Gary was saying, we've paid the $1.2 million back to the state of Missouri and the feds. However, those are usually at 100% in regards to penalties, which means we're gonna owe another 1.2 million when those penalties come in. It was not their error, it's our error. So a lot of times trying to negotiate out of that, you're not gonna get out of it. You may have to go get a loan, or you will have to put on extended payments for the city. That's the options that you'll have when it comes those in, so we won't be able to have money. So the other thing I was talking about is the fact that, my question is, if we give you the $700,000, where are you gonna get your fire guys? Where does your fire department?
I'm pretty sure that the
individuals
fire
come from?
department people will stay where they're at.
Well, then they're city employees,
Okay,
okay,
what's your question?
so they're not answering roll
Or,
calls.
so you're saying, and you're not gonna pay them, is that what you're saying?
There are
Do
fire
you really
guys.
wanna get into that kind of battle?
I'm just saying, that's,
So am I.
that's what you're saying in regards to
No,
the
I'm not saying
association
that.
is paying for roll. So how many roll calls versus city calls do they have in a month's time?
That's your job to find that out.
I've already done the numbers on
Okay.
that. Out of an entire month's time, you may have 2 to 4 that are city.
When
All
was
the rest
when
are-
was the last time that you had bought a fire truck? When was the last time?
It has nothing to do with
It
fire.
has everything to do with
It has
it.
to do with service. You're buying a service from the
Okay.
city.
I'll make a motion that November, December, we pay them $50,000 a month, and starting in January, we bump it up to $100,000 a month.
Okay, I got a motion on the floor.
You're not gonna give them anything this month?
Now, this month's about over, start
Right,
in
November.
November,
Yeah.
December, and the first of the year, January.
But what's the total?
Until we get to the, maybe we'll see what the total amount is, to their 700 amount that they're claiming they have. But.
We can
maybe-
start with
maybe
this.
In the meantime, we find with the records and get the state in here and audit this stuff and everything, to find true numbers and stuff.
That's beside me, because the state auditor was, when were they here? What year was that?
3 years ago.
That audit was not a financial
It was-
audit.
It was not a
book.
financial audit, I understand that. But, I understand it's two different
Okay,
things.
wait a minute. We got a motion on the floor, November, $50,000 to the rural fire board, December, $50,000, January, $100,000, and at the end of January, we know what the exact figure is, what's left to pay them. I have a motion.
Okay.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
$2,200.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you,
Thank
Gary.
you.
Okay, moving on.
Gary Osborne, I got a question to ask you. Are we current now with the sales tax people and?
Yeah, as far as I know, we went back and we called the state.
Right.
We asked them, when was the last time we paid sales tax, and we're told. So we, went through records and generated sales tax reports, you know, like we always did. And we, submitted that along with a nice check to them. Did the same thing, Internal Revenue Service, called them, found out, when we stop paying, got that information. We was able to, you submit that, quarterly report called a 941, we was able to get that information on these 941 reports, we could generate them. So we're confident it was accurate information, we sent that to them. There's a real situation when they stopped paying the sales tax and Internal Revenue Service. Now luckily, the state sales tax was only 2 months behind that we could determine.
Yeah.
But, that was a real kick in the pants.
There was no way they would have accepted payments instead of emptying our account basically to pay them?
Well, they really pursue it because we know there's penalties coming. They probably can try to work something out on the penalties.
And a lot of it was withholding out of people's paychecks, so that had to go. I mean, you can't do pay.
Yeah, that's really, the only thing that city's, actual city expense was the city share of the FICA tax. But the others is all withholding.
Mhm.
And the sales tax, it was collected from people that bought utilities,
Mhm.
businesses and,
Okay.
So
very difficult situation, you know.
Roughly when did it start?
Oh, probably a year and a half ago, I'd say, some of it. Year and 3 months, something like that. It's not good, yeah, I can't imagine why they didn't do that. I know when I was here, when Jackie was here, we had to set up and organize, you know, it's just like clockwork, you pay your bills. You know, when you do a payroll, it tells you exactly how much to send in, all you have to do is call it in.
Mhm.
Well, they thought that, they thought the computer program was calling it in, but no, it tells you how much to take out and what to pay, but you have to call it in, you have to pay it. Same with the sales tax and the income tax. And,
Alright, thank you, Gary. Next is the board slate for the Monroe City Public Library. I have the 9 individuals to appoint for the Library Board of Trustees. And this is according to Missouri Revised Statute 182.170. So those appointees are Gina Carroll, Jeannie Cheek, Megan Gomez, Darren Kendrick, Jane Ann Olson, T.T. Quinn, Steve Tonser, Kerry Williams, and Anthony Yates. So if I could have please council's approval on these appointees for the Library Board of Trustees.
And they all live in town.
Yes. I have a motion to approve the 9 for the appointments for the Board of Trustees for the library. Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on, consent agenda. If you could please review the minutes from October 5th meeting. Do we have an update on the bonding insurance? Bonding insurance?
For the city clerk. I
For
have,
anybody downstairs that needs to have bonding? Well, I guess that's kinda doesn't matter right now.
doesn't, I have a good bid that has come in from Winter Submarine
Okay, so we're
Insurance.
ready to roll when we get our
Yep.
seats filled, gotcha.
Yes.
So right now, who's, it's really Phoebe.
Phoebe's there for another week. Tamitha, who's your city administrator, Jennifer's with the license office. We have called Joyce Valoria. She worked for the license office for years. She's coming back part-time to work the license office, so Jennifer can kind of go back and forth to at least handle customer issues and take utility payments. So I've reached out to Palmyra, had a meeting with their city clerk today. They've offered, the mayor, Rusty Adrian, and I've been talking for about a week, and they're going to offer their support and help. They're familiar with G-Works, and they've got a good system in place. They run really well there in Palmyra, so, Kristen, I can't think of her last name. Olson is their city, deputy clerk, and she is, generously coming up with a training manual, G-Works training manual for us to have, and they will come, still negotiating, because we're having an administrative committee meeting Monday night. We've got about 30 applicants to review for a couple seats downstairs, and then once we get those seats filled, Kristen will come and work with us a couple days and help train those individuals the proper way. So we've got supports. I've reached out to Canton. Of course, if anybody knows what's going on with Canton, they're quite in a mess as well. Talked to their city clerk, and, because they also have Beacon and G-Works, so they're very familiar with the systems as well. Waiting for them to get back with me on offering some support. I'm hoping, my goal is to have 3 days a week have supports from other municipalities, so we can get our individuals trained. And of course, that goal also being next Monday night to have Tuesday morning a couple individuals to call to get in here to start working, so.
We had said during our admin meeting that it's basically the utility clerk and city clerk that has to be bonded. Because Tamitha had already started the process, and then we kind of backed off, but should we go ahead and have her bonded since she's gonna be the one for now taking a lot of the money?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, I just don't want to get in legal trouble.
That sounded like a pretty sound answer right there.
In regards to the consent agenda, I don't know if this is proper protocol, but due to the fact that I made a motion in regard to Missouri Metalcraft and it did not happen, I'd like to withdraw that motion that I put forth on the October the 5th. And since, they have made other arrangements, then I'll put that out there as a motion to withdraw that.
Okay, I got a motion to rescind, the cutoff of Missouri Metalcraft Utilities that was made during the October 5th meeting. Do I have a second? Motion and a second, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Alderman Green, for clearing that up.
And that was, so what, it was just, we need to wait on
There was some discussion earlier about when you make a motion, the email. Like after the arrangements had changed with Missouri Metalcraft, should that information make it into the?
I think so. Yeah.
So there it is. Where were we?
Yeah, otherwise we'll bring it up.
Did you get a motion to approve minutes from October 5th yet?
With the amendment and the addition of the further discussion via email.
Okay.
They have been retained in the actual council folder, so they are there. I printed out the email, they are retained.
Okay.
So, yeah, your vote, even though it was by electronic, it was retained, so you know that.
Okay.
All right, so I have a motion to approve the minutes from October 5th with the recension vote in there. And also information about the email vote that was made on the agreement with Missouri Metalcraft. There's the motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Now, if you please review the accounts payable.
Accounts payable one.
Did you need one?
I have,
You have one? Do you need two? Yeah, these are her original. I did, we put just one instead of each at both sides. So here's one, he has two, so this one. Thanks, trying to say.
no, I understand.
Yeah, take the first. You gotta be one, so do this one, too. Two or one?
That'll give me two. And we table this to the end of purposes.
Sure, guys, need a little time to look over these. Fine, yes. Okay, we'll move on and table that to the end of the meeting. Mayor's report, I think I've discussed everything quite clearly, what's been going on. I don't have anything else to add to that this time. City administrator's report. Tamitha, do you have anything to add?
No, other than, ran into a little bit of a debacle with our, Sam's card, trying to get that straightened out with them, and, just working on the retirement and getting that finalized, for the city employees. And
Is
then,
that,
it will be, it's in process.
everybody access it?
I'm actually finishing with Tesion, with our payroll. I've been doing training on payroll, because that starts live on Monday, so we've been doing that too. But, they will actually keep track, you'll be able to see on the deductions in your, direct deposit on your stubs in regards to your retirement, any of the, whether it be Aflac, Legal Shield, any of those benefits. So we'll be able to track those and see those. And any of the comp time, vacation time, sick, all the benefits are all in there. So it's a real user-friendly, easy program. You should be able to see all that. And I gotta make sure you guys are all on it. You go through your mini training. So,
I do have something else for the mayor's report. I'm sorry, Tamitha.
Yeah, you're fine.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, thank you. I would like for us to schedule a working budget meeting, a work session, council, because I think in light of financial situations, we need to review our bills payable, we need to review our vendors list, and we need to start making cuts where we can. So can you please tell me your availability as soon as possible so we can get a meeting in here and have a work session on going over our financials a little more in depth. Monday night, we have an administration meeting at 5. That is probably gonna be lengthy because we have several applications to go through, and I'm sorry, whoever's coming to that, I wanted an administrative committee meeting as a whole, so council, you're all encouraged to come to that and be a part of that selection process. And I'm sorry, bring supper, whatever you need, because we're not leaving the table until we get 2 individuals to call Tuesday morning. So probably need to have this work session a different night than Monday.
If that's the case for Monday night, if you really anticipate it's gonna be, take me out for the rest of the week, because I'm in the middle of fiscal inventory. And my main job has precedence over this.
Okay? Tuesday evening is park board meeting from, we're meeting at 5, 5 o'clock Monday night.
And then park board meets on Tuesday night.
Park board is Tuesday night.
Wednesday.
Let's cancel park board meeting. Let's send out an email, cancel park board, this is more pressing. Let's do Tuesday night at 5. Do I have anybody available Tuesday night at 5? What time will you be back?
And if all things go well, and I can come in, I'll come in, but if I'm gonna be tied up Monday night, which is where I'm gonna be, supposed to be in Geneva, then
Okay.
it's gonna take me to Tuesday.
So we could do Tuesday night at 6, if that might be better. Anyone? Tuesday night at 6? Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, so Monday night at 5 and Tuesday night at 6. All right, moving on, city attorney's report.
Few things, bonds, we already covered that. Tamitha, are you gonna talk about utility situation, or I need to bring it up?
So I'm gonna bring it up.
I mean, go ahead. Missouri Metalcraft, let's just talk about it.
John, go ahead, they can hear your voice better, you sit right
Okay,
there and you can.
so
check it out.
Missouri, I don't know if, I found out, the mayor told me last night that Missouri Metalcraft's check bounced. So what's everybody wanna do? Let's just say what happened.
They have not completed the wire
And-
transfer though?
No,
Okay,
so, there you go.
then they already are in breach of the
So Mark,
contract.
Mark made a motion, we rescinded it because they entered into an agreement and they have not complied with their agreement.
There we go.
So, what is the council's druthers?
Well, I did ask a question, and it's just kind of a suspicious question, because it was, we made that arrangement because they reached out to us and said that we were, you know, because of the utility issues this summer, it cost them this ABCD.
Right.
So, what are the chances, hypothetically, that they were dragging their feet and dragging it out because maybe they're in further financial issue?
Well, they're,
trouble,
I
like they
mean,
say?
I'm sure they're in trouble because UAW is on strike. They're not, I mean, their owner told me this morning that they're not getting paid for their orders.
Well, let me tell you, I was not in favor of the arrangement at all because, they have been behind on your utility bill since I was an alderman 2 years ago, three years ago. I remember having the same conversation, and council made the vote to cut them off. And at the time, our mayor, decided to veto council's motion and vote and keep them on because it was right at Christmas time and the heartstrings were pulled at. So this happened way before our utilities went off this
No,
summer.
absolutely, they've been a troubled company, I mean, I
When did the check?
don't, calling it what it is.
When did the check bounce?
It was Monday, I asked to rerun it, and it bounced again on Tuesday. I contacted them, they sent I sent instructions on how to do a wire on Wednesday, and then today's Thursday. So it's been pretty much every day this week I've been
We
working.
still
on it.
haven't heard anything about it.
He told me the wire's supposed to hit tomorrow,
Okay.
but you know how
I
that
say,
goes, I mean.
I just know I've been working on it every day this week.
So their next payment's due next week?
Supposed to be due.
Well, what they got the 50 technically due, and then they've got their bill coming up next week, so, I mean, you all need to think what you wanna do. We got 300 grand or so that's owed.
So if the wire doesn't actually hit, or like they say it's going to, we have to decide what we're gonna do.
That's half of the fire protection district. I'm sorry.
What's that?
That's half of our fire protection district. Why don't you go collect? If you don't laugh at it, you guys will go crying your eyes out. I mean, you're doing the best you can do.
So what do you wanna do?
We don't, I mean.
When will you know about this wire?
Tomorrow noon, he said.
Tomorrow noon?
I'm not holding my breath.
You said noon.
Noon.
Make a motion that if we don't have the wire by noon, that we initiate cutoff procedures
Yeah.
again.
And we'll follow it, we gotta follow our ordinance, but
By
we'll
1
go.
o'clock.
Yep, yep.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second, if the wire isn't hit our bank by noon, that we pull the plug. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Is it noon or one, sorry?
Noon?
Noon, if the wire don't hit, and by 1 o'clock, we're gonna pull the plug. That way we still got people here to do it, and we don't have no overtime.
John, anything else?
Budget, I mean, I hope, I don't know if Gary's still here. Okay, I mean,
You probably bring it.
yeah, I don't blame him.
He said the pilot wouldn't be able to fly fast enough home on Tuesday.
But, I mean, I hope we're tracking, I mean, we're still operating under last year's budget. So I hope we're somehow tracking those expenses. I mean, do we know if
Still on
we're,
freeze. They're not buying anything.
are we over categories? I mean, that's the issue.
Are we moving forward with proper practices now?
Yeah.
Everything's getting put in the ledger, bills are getting paid, and we're moving like we're supposed to be moving. I think that's the question here at hand.
The ones that we have done, that Jennifer and I have done, are in the ledger. Yes.
I mean, those are figures I have time to do them, I do
Yeah.
that.
As you all approve them, they're getting paid. So, and they're being posted to the correct accounts.
And they're getting posted to the correct
Yep.
accounts, okay.
But do we know where the accounts are? Like what every category was spent out of last year's budget?
Not out of last year's budget, no. Because you don't have those numbers finished.
How can we, when the bank reconciliations aren't even
We
complete
don't
from
have
last
those
year?
numbers.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm getting at. I didn't think we did.
No. That's what I've been working on, John, is getting somebody in here to do those tasks.
Yeah, so it's so bad that Gary couldn't fix it. I mean,
Yes.
that's,
Yes.
Well,
okay.
not that it's so bad, it is bad, but there are other things involved here. He hasn't been in the system for 7 years, so we have practices like the automatic ACHs and the automatic inputs that are put into the account that are coded and not an actual paper check or a check coming in. That's all new to him, so when he sees all of that list of ACHs and all of that list of credits come into the account without a paper trail, he's then got to figure out, what is that code? What are those letters? What is that? And when he would ask a certain individual what they were that has been here forever, that person didn't even know.
Yeah, he's told me he spends a lot of his time on the phone.
So it's like sleuths down there. We're doing research.
I believe it. I'm just saying that, I mean, I hope you all probably saw it. We've got, I mean, if we got 1.1 million in the bank and 340,000 to approve in checks today, that takes us down to about 750. And then we all know that some of that is remaining is restricted for parks, possibly fire budget, possibly other restricted
Yeah,
funds. So I'm trying to convey the gravity. I mean, there's no money.
where have you been?
Where's,
Yeah.
what?
That's-
Is that a serious question?
Yeah, well, I have known this for a while, what do you think we're doing in this office, trying to figure it
I'm
out?
not accusing anybody. I'm saying that we need to get a budget, and if there's no more I mean, how's it gonna get better?
Madam Mayor, may I ask a question?
I don't know. Go ahead, Debbie.
That's your thing. So, we recognize, we all do, that there's no funds. And that the funds that we do have are not usable funds, is what I'm understanding from John and from you earlier. So, how is our collection of everybody else's utilities going? Because that is our income.
Yes,
And we don't seem to talk about collection of incomes from utilities, and I'd like to hear about that. Where's our income?
people are paying their utilities, they're coming in, they're paying their utilities, that hasn't stopped, we've got a
The
steady
ones
stream
in the rear,
of people, excuse me?
the ones that are past due. and-
I'm not gonna say 100%, no.
So where are we at on that? We got a figure on, cause last week you gave 160,000 small business, personal, with residential. Have we collected how much on that?
I didn't get that number from them yet, because we're not finished with the.
You should know that.
I mean, today, I mean to this date, I didn't mean in the future last week, I meant to date. You don't have the number today, what you've collected in the past, do you?
Because that I
Yeah.
We have to run that report, it's not like we can't get it.
We had that report a couple council meetings ago.
Well, I think that's what Debbie's asking, let's have some information on what is being collected.
You know what, if we had that information, we would give it to you, ma'am, I don't have
Well, I
that
thought
right
she
now.
said she could print it.
She
I know
can print
about
a
this
report, but I'm
now.
not gonna have her run down there and print that right now.
But when you come to a council meeting and you've got these bills and stuff, let's have what's been collected.
We're working on it, we're working on it.
It could have been printed out today.
Thank you. All right, moving on, council committees, planning and zoning report, I think we have a meeting scheduled for next week.
No, not next week, I gotta send it out so that we can, get it worked, because we had 3 more that were added to
Okay.
that grouping.
Parks and Rec, we were to have a meeting Tuesday night, we put that on hold. Economic Development, Alderman Bodkins.
Nothing, but I think that we need to make a motion and contact the state and have them start procedures of doing our city audit and, getting help with them and reaching out to see what they can do in solving this problems that we're in, and I'll make that in the motion.
All right, and Jeff, I appreciate that, because that was a conversation I just had with you before the meeting started. And I also told you that, the state auditors are not going to be out in the field for several months, but we need to make them aware, like you said, of the situation we're in. So we have a motion to reach out to Scott Fitzpatrick in the morning, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all those in favor? All right, motion carries, I'll make that phone call myself.
Do you have a list of auditors that we've started with?
I do. I'll have to run that for you, I don't have that with me.
Just keep pushing.
Just shy of getting on my knees and begging, I've been working on it. Administrative report, Alderman Osborne.
Yeah, so I typed up the minutes and sent them out to everybody, but I do think we have to approve those, correct? Have a motion to approve those, because we always have in the past, but, I mean, everybody got them in their email, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so, do I need to run through and read the minutes?
If you want to, you're.
Okay, so we had an administrative committee meeting at 6 o'clock, on October 11th, and I called the meeting to order, and it was stated that, Robin Simpson, who was offered the position of deputy city clerk, worked for 2 evenings with Gary and Jackie and decided the job was not suitable for her. It was stated that Phoebe Ransom was unsure on whether or not she would be staying with the city. We would like for her to let us know by the end of the week, one way or another, so that we can adequately get positions filled. Since we have no readily available candidates to fill all of our positions in City Hall, Mayor Hayes reached out to Stewart with the MML, Missouri Municipal League. Stewart directed her to Jeff Hancock, who has 34 years of experience with municipal government. Mayor Hayes will be in touch with Mr. Hancock of Interim Solutions, as well as other available options to help us dig out our situation and train new staff. Mayor Hayes is going to have several options for us to talk about at the October 19th council meeting. We'll also be having a Zoom meeting with some people about some of our options and what plans are available. City Clerk Shirley Arch is no longer with the city as of this last Monday. Mayor Hayes asked the Missouri Municipal League if we needed a new city clerk immediately, and their response was no, the state will not shut you down because of not having a clerk at this time. However, you need one within a reasonable amount of time. Gary Osborne will be leaving to go back home on October 24th. Chairman Osborne will talk to him and see if he can give the council an update at the next meeting on his progress along with Jackie. Gary will also need to leave notes on what he has accomplished so incoming people know where to start and do not undo all of his work. Chairman Osborne will have a discussion with him to see if he is willing to continue working for the city virtually from home, as well as being available for consultation, questions, etc. And I talked to him and he said yes. The motion was made by Alderwoman Saunders for his rate of pay to be $30 an hour, and seconded by Alderman Shoemaker with all in favor. I abstain. Currently, Gary has been working roughly 90 hours per week trying to help us. Jackie is willing to continue helping nights and weekends after Gary leaves at her current rate of $30 an hour. She does not, however, want to work every single night and weekend. Open positions available currently at City Hall are City Clerk, Deputy City Clerk, Utility Clerk, and Administrative Assistant, and Licensed Office Clerk. These positions will be posted tomorrow, October 12th, by the City Administrator on Indeed, the Missouri Municipal League website, the Lake Gazette, the Hamble Courier Post, and the Quincy Herald Whig. Job descriptions will need to be available. Alderman Bodkin stated that the city administrator should have a look on job descriptions, qualifications for each position. Pay for the advertised full-time positions will be as follows. City clerk, $52,000 a year plus benefits. Deputy clerk, $48,000 plus benefits. Utility clerk, $50,000 plus benefits. Administrative assistant, licensed clerk, $35,360 a year plus benefits. All these will be salary positions because overtime is out of control. It was asked what revenue the city earned from the license office. Tabitha will check into this. It was stated that we will start having monthly administrative committee meetings on the first Monday of every month at 6. It was mentioned that Gary found several checks that were ready to go but never mailed from 2022 for utility refunds. He is working on that. City Administrator Tabitha Agu was brought into the meeting at this time for a performance evaluation. All the ladies in the office that worked with her said she was approachable and eager to help them with their work as needed. Some things to work on, focusing on the major issues that are at hand at the moment, getting them completed, and keeping the lines of communication open. This is something everyone needs to work on. The committee stated that we would like to have a running record follow-up list included in the meeting packets of what we are working on versus what has been completed. Tabitha mentioned that she would like to improve the human resources area for the city, and we're also needing some updated computers and servers downstairs. Tabitha would like to become Missouri Government Institute certified in the future. This is through MML. She would also like a job description for the city administrator. What does the job look like and exactly what do we want from her? Bonding of employees was discussed. People who handle the money need to be bonded. A motion was made to adjourn at 8 o'clock by Alderman Saunders and seconded by Alderman Hopkins.
Thank you, Alderman Osborne. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from administrative committee meeting?
Okay.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed, motion carries. Nuisance Review Board Public Safety meeting, Alderman Shoemaker, we had a meeting the other night, we don't have minutes available at this time. Would you like to comment on anything from the meeting?
One of the houses on Bond Street being tore down. That's in progress. And the house on Dollar General,
Our Family Dollar?
Franklin Dollar, that's cleaned up.
Okay.
Thank you.
I've had calls, 515 Dover Street, there's been trash out in front of that house for like a month, and it keeps accumulating.
East or west
East. Across from Sullivan.
Okay. Zach, need to do a drive-by tomorrow and check out that situation
It's
first?
already being addressed.
Okay, thank you.
Get back on the administration on Gary when he goes home, he's got his personal laptop. Did we have any luck getting the stuff onto his laptop so that he can do the work from, do stuff from home?
We will.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been running off fees, so we have actually set him up separately.
Alderman Schumaker, anything else?
Probably November, anytime after the 19th,
Okay,
I'll have another meeting.
okay. What are we looking at? November after the 19th on a Wednesday? We usually have it on the Wednesday before council meeting.
That's Thanksgiving.
That's Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Before Thanksgiving. The 29th. We would have to be on the 29th because the week when we do it.
29th would be fine.
Okay, so the next nuisance review board public safety meeting will be November 29th at 5 p.m. Thank you, Alderman Shoemaker. City departments, George.
Don't have a lot to report. We have a meeting tomorrow morning with, Klinger and Associates concerning the berm at the wastewater plant, and we'll have we'll know more after that as far as, if there's gonna be any additional costs, that weren't figured in. I've been working with, people who've had extremely high utility bills. The new beacon system is being extremely helpful. We're able to go back and actually see when the water started, or when their leak started, or how much, why they were using so much water. Running into a couple people that had irrigation systems that they didn't realize were still on. So, but that's going well.
George, what are you talking about? That gentleman that lives on 3rd Street. And he had a $1,186 water bill and a $1,716 sewer bill for that month and a half that we had the bills. Basically, he's homebound, he's on oxygen. He basically doesn't know why he had he's sure he didn't have a leak, or he doesn't know nothing about it, but George went down there and checked it, and it just, for several days, it showed that he leaked, or lost the same amount of water daily.
Yes.
So he
Yeah.
went down there and checked it.
Yeah, I printed off graphs for Alderman Green, that showed the day that it started. The month prior, he might have used 3 or 4 gallons a day. And then all of a sudden, I can't remember the exact date, but it shot up to.
January, or July the 24th, about 1 p.m., it showed he used 28 gallons. And then after 2 p.m., he started using 125 gallons an hour. And then it got up to the rest of the day where he used 1,250 gallons.
On 3rd Street?
Yeah, and on July the 25th, and September the 7th, he used an average, or it showed he used an average of 3,200 gallons a day. And I don't know, he said he didn't have no leak in the yard or out in the house or anything about it.
And this is the 3rd time that it's happened at this particular address. Previous to putting in the beacon system, it happened, and he had, used 90,000 gallons or something in just a few days, or in between readings. So at that point, we installed the beacon system. He was, that part of town wasn't on our change out yet, but we jumped over just to put it in there because, he had worked for, a utility that used these and wanted to make sure that it was able to be monitored. So we put it in. After we put it in, he had a leak, and I was able to show him when and how much, and then it has happened again. He says that he has his toilet shut off, and there's two toilets. He's got the second one shut off.
That's what he said.
But he was gone for, I believe, a portion, if not majority of the time that this leak happened.
Yeah, he was in the hospital, he said.
So, I can't The information that I have is what the beacon, or what the meter has actually sent to City Hall.
Okay.
And what I am seeing is Alderman Green just said, you can tell exactly when it started, when it stopped, and then after that, he's only using a gallon to 5 gallons a day again.
Yeah, on September the 9th, it's back to normal use where you can couldn't even hardly see it on the graph where you
Right.
would use it. But he was asking if there's anything that we could do for him since he's on fixed income or anything, and I said, I would bring it to your all's attention and see if there's anything that we could do.
So that's another thing that we need to devise a committee and get together policies, written down policies on how we're gonna handle every utility situation. We're kinda all over the place, it's been a case by case, and we need to get uniform on this, so everybody is treated fairly. I know in the past, if there's a water leak, they have credited the sewer, because it actually doesn't go through the sewer if it's a water leak.
That's incorrect.
Okay, then straighten me out here.
If a toilet runs, it still goes down the sewer.
Okay.
We have no way of knowing where the water went, except that it went down, he had a leaky toilet, and it basically went down the sewer system.
Yeah, 3,000 gallons a day, you would have seen a hose did, or if it was flooding his basement, there would have been evidence, but he said there's no evidence of anything like that.
No soft spots in the yard.
Right, but yeah, if his line from the main to the house would have started leaking, it wouldn't have just all of a sudden boom started and then all of a sudden stopped. Leaks don't get better, they only get worse. I'm sorry, did you say something?
Is that a feasible amount that it would actually?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Really?
So what's his
Yeah.
what's his water and sewer bill?
What is his water bill was, $1,186, and his sewer bill was $1,716. So you're basically talking about $2,900 worth of.
It is a lot, so the
water
toilet,
and sewer.
toilet will run.
Is that the 2-month bill rating? That's a 2 month?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's long for,
Uh-huh.
you know, I know, and he's not asking me to get a reprieve from it, he just wants to know if there's anything we could work by like letting him pay $100 a month on just the water and sewer extra till he gets it, maybe, you know, caught up or something, but I mean, you know, you're talking there.
Well, that's understandable, I mean, that's.
$2,700.
Right, that's.
I know we're in a financial situation, but, you know, this man's on a fixed income too, so. I just bring it to the attention to see if there's anything that anybody can do or wanna do.
Do we have any seasonal mailers going out?
We should have a gas mailer going out soon for all gas customers. Or no, maybe that's a newspaper, I'm sorry.
We haven't sent anything out on those meters, have we?
I put a big write-up in the paper and pushed it out on social media about the endpoints, all kinds of information, but it should be done again, and I know where you're going with that, and I'm totally in favor, on the same page with you there.
Well, he's got the app on his phone now where he can monitor it now, he guarantees if it happens again, he's gonna be on top of it, so I said, well.
Creating policies for the existing ones on situations like that. It's like what you said, that way everybody's treated the same.
But we have policies, I mean. Everybody should be getting treated the same, I don't know why they wouldn't be.
We don't know why a lot of things, but they haven't been, there's been
Well,
promises.
only the council has the authority to adjust bills.
That's right, but there's been promises made downstairs, that's not an issue anymore, but it has been done and it's out there. It is what it is.
So it's over.
So is that on the bill that's due on the 25th?
So that's a 2-month billing cycle, so about $14.52 a month was his water and sewer altogether, each month. So, I don't expect the gentleman to have to pay $14.52 all at once, so he can come in here and pay something, that would be great.
I don't pay the arrangements divide that up over 6 months and
Okay.
add it to his existing bill.
There you go. That's what's in place.
That's the motion to divide that
over 6 months, and have them make payments on that.
Advising of that.
All right.
Thank
Got a
you.
motion and a second to follow the policy that's in place of dividing, yeah, dividing.
It's there, it's done.
Yeah.
Motion to apply our
Thank you
policy.
for,
Yeah.
understanding and letting me forget.
So that does not require a motion because it's a policy that's already being followed. Is that in writing somewhere downstairs in our utility book? Great, all right. Okay, Dale Buckman with the airport. Yes, sir.
I just want to clarify what Mark says. This gentleman reached out to me too, and he was in a hospital for at least one of them weeks. I was taking care of his dog, and there was nothing running nowhere. So I just wanted to bring that out there too, because I told him that I'll take care of it, because he gets out of the ring sometimes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Buckman with the airport? No. OB, street department?
Reports should be in the packet. I got 3 estimates on topping 5 trees.
You have those.
I'm afraid to ask. You want to approve one of them?
All right. Yep.
Say
We're gonna-
We can't reach them, that's why I went out for estimates.
Are they right over power lines?
No. Not a street.
Are they gonna land on my car?
So not in your area, but we're in the guy sitting next to you there.
They're not really, you said they're high, but they're not really out of, out of whack.
No, they're not.
Compared to what they are, because I had tree trimming down to my house.
But I think we're gonna have to stick to that freeze on expenditures until we get a clear vision of what's going on over there.
Yeah.
I mean, council,
Any of these trees danger of coming down right now?
I wish I could predict that.
I know, but.
Will they come down with a good windstorm? Will they come down with a good windstorm?
Ice.
One of our Stoner Street already.
we've got a spending freeze in place, unless council decides otherwise, I said we just stick to the freeze for now. It's unfortunate, but quite necessary.
Is it a liability?
Anything else, OB?
That's it.
I would like to ask,
I'll report.
so the city lot that we own across from the fire department, that the previous mayor had that building tore down and whatever company did that, did not do a thorough job and clean all that mess up. Is there any time in your schedule that the street department could clean up that lot?
First I heard of it.
Yeah, it's our property, it's city property and it,
Sure, you guys. We worked on it a little bit, and we got tied up with it, and I can put you guys in there to speak here, we're going cross country tomorrow, put in the override again,
okay,
and, plant trees tomorrow.
okay. I'd appreciate it whenever, if possible, in your schedule.
Okay.
That's all I'm
We
asking.
work together on it, yeah.
Thank you.
We'll get something.
Anything else, OB?
No, okay.
Thank you, sir. Carrie Lee?
Yeah, we have, your report in my packet, following up last council meeting, we continued on pole change out to go behind, senior housing behind Second Street, in between the senior housing and the football field. We replaced, I think, 8 poles in there, and it's much better than
It does.
Continuing on removing trees, a lot of this was done from the ground with the new mulcher that Terry and all of us have gotten, and it's doing a good job. No information on the east substation transformer project. I know we just sent it back to get it. I know it's in the process. And I talked to Mark Dow about, the substation itself, and, he's working on getting, contractors in line to start working on that also. Building permits, I wrote, like Mr. Shoemaker said, I wrote, a demo permit for 211 and we're waiting on approval, site plan approvals for the building at the new concession stand at the Lions Club field. They are demoing it tomorrow, Monday. And, we removed all the wires over that, so they can do it without anything being in the way today. And we're just keep working on tree cutting, AMIs when possible, and pull chains out, some work orders if needed. I did have, something to ask. I need to buy 12 security lights at roughly $109 a piece. It's gonna be like $1,200. And I didn't know if y'all would wanna go ahead and approve that, or if we got the spending freeze. I have 6 lights that I know need replaced, but the other 6 are just gonna be stocked because things break and burn out.
Were this just all over the different areas?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not, I mean, it's, you know, we have the older ones going out, and we wanna replace them with the LEDs, because they are much more efficient.
Sure.
Just ask for that. I gave Tampa well, not an invoice, but a quote from Fletcher Reinhardt for those. I think that is in your package.
Okay. So that's another situation, Carrie, where we're just gonna have to hold off.
I understand.
What about the batteries for the bucket truck?
Batteries for the bucket truck
Yep.
went bad. They've been bought and installed. I wasn't here that day when they did that. It was, I guess it was an emergency.
It said they've been operating on trying to keep charging the batteries.
We just jump start it and run it for the day, and don't shut it off.
Yeah.
And, $300 worth of batteries, $400 worth of
And
batteries.
you can't operate expensive equipment in that mannerism without electrical
You
problems
walk
happening.
by and you smell rotten egg smell, it's the sulfur coming from the batteries. I was like, well, maybe over the weekend we need to disconnect. I didn't wanna leave a battery charger on it, but it just burn out. I said, if we get called out, take the old bucket truck out. If it's a drastic emergency, but if we had the time, we could jump start it.
I mean, we gotta keep
And this
running.
was in the newest bucket truck we have.
We gotta keep running. Anything else, Carrie Lee?
Not this time.
Thank you, sir. Terry?
Yeah. Most everything I've been doing is training and routine. We are planning on going down and setting the new riser on the pad tomorrow, 10 o'clock. And then, I'm hoping USDI will come down there and tell me what all it involves, get this thing hooked up. And then, we're down to 2 gallons over, or less. I haven't seen it for a while. So we need to get it switched over. And I talked to USDI, and so what happens if we run out of order? He said we could probably go a day and a half without having the old riser on there, and it won't hurt us. So we gotta get the old one out of the way and the new one set in place, hold it down, wired, and the data wiring put in. It's gonna take probably, after tomorrow, probably another day or two, I bet it'll be another 2 days. Get it done, 'cause we got a hand dig out in Panhandle's substation, because they won't let us take equipment in there, do any digging around their pipe.
Okay. Anything else?
Adam's working out really well, he's picking it up pretty quick. I'm hoping he's gonna turn into an excellent employee for us.
When the other boys will start.
24th for Richard and the 30th for, Scott.
Thank you, Terry.
And I haven't heard anything from Raul yet, so I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Chief James?
I had nothing new.
All right, thank you, sir. Chief Phoenix?
I had nothing this time.
Chief, where you at? Okay. I overlooked it, I don't get behind it. Okay, thank you, Keith. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn? Oh, we do have that left.
George, this question for you. The wastewater, trash. What is that?
Not paid.
Wastewater
There's an
trash.
invoice for wastewater, trash for Meridian Waste.
Okay, that's actually that's the biosolids, what we used to land apply. Now is actually run through a press, dewatered, and goes
Folks,
into.
we haven't adjourned, I appreciate some quietness, we got a question up here.
And it goes into a dumpster, which is then hauled to the Bowling Green landfill, and they use it for alternative fill.
Excuse me, Mayor.
Yes.
I hate to ask this, but are we gonna deposit that check? I mean, are you gonna write us a check, deposit to our account in November?
We're gonna write a check.
Okay, that'd be fine.
I just rather have
Okay.
mash and paper trail.
Give it to Jackie.
And we hope we don't have.
And we still gotta approve the bills paid.
Got a motion to approve bills payable, and a second, all those in favor? Motion carries. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn, second, all those in favor?
What day?
Motion carries.
What
Motion
day you gonna
carries.
write that?
Should be tomorrow.
No, not till November.
November 1st?
Oh, November 1st. Yeah. Tomorrow, yeah, November.